Whoo, good morning, good morning, good morning. How you doing? I hope you're faring well. Yeah, just pondering it again. Figured I'd try to get one together and put it out. And Karl Marx had made the statement, and now he was born back in the 1800s, I think it was, and died in the early 1900s, maybe somewhere through there. But he'd made the statement. He said, if we can destroy the morals of one generation of Americans, we can take the country. Take the country or take the nation. Something, but anyway, that's what he said. Think about that. If we can destroy the morals of one generation of Americans, we can take the nation. Look how much socialism has garnered in America today. Now, you can call it Marxism, you can call it fascism, you can call it socialism, you can call it whatever. It makes no difference. If the ends are the same, they are the same. Okay? It don't matter what you call them. If the outcome of their power is the same, they are the same. Okay? Now, you think about it. Just look over the nation right now. The educational system has been trying to push God out for the last, well, they have pushed him out basically for the last 50 years or better. And look at where our college students and things are heading now. They're heading into socialism. Even our schools, our elementary, they start training your kids from the time they hit Head Start, plumb up into college, to be socialist, to think socialist. Think about it. And now they're up there wanting to discard the rule of law. They're up there wanting to discard truth and honor and justice to have their way. Now think about that. Hollywood's behind it. Look what Hollywood has done. Hollywood has been 3/4 or more of the source of the destruction of the rule of law and truth and honor and moral justice. They're behind the socialist drive. Not all of them, but a lot of them. In the entertainment world, not all of them, but a bunch of them. The Democratic Party cheated Bernie Sanders back in 2014, 2015, cheated him out of the party's nomination. They cheated him. They cheated their own to try to get Hillary Clinton in office. They cheated. Face it, America. They cheated. They cheated their own. Now, where's that going to leave me and you if they get in power? They cheated their own that's up there rubbing elbows with them. Now, where's that going to leave me and you, everyday little piss-ons, if they get in power? Where's that going to leave me and you? Hey, listen, you're going to have to think. You're going to have to start using your head besides something for a hair to grow on or to shave or whatever. Where is that going to leave us? If they get in power and they want something, they're right now doing their dangest to take your ability to defend yourself. They're doing their best to strip you of your legal vote. They're bringing thousands of illegal illegal immigrants and refugees, bringing thousands of them in, and they're giving them the right to vote. Now listen to me. Giving them the right. What do you think happens if they bring these people in? They're illegal already. They bring them in. They give them a right to vote, and they're doing everything they can against you. Everything they can is being done against the American worker, against the senior citizen. against the patriot of this nation, that loves this nation, that loves the rule of law, that loves for things to act and function properly, that everybody can actually have a fair chance. They give their oath that they would protect you. They're not doing it. They are not doing it. The Democratic Party is no longer doing that. Right now, the Democratic Party needs to be lined up and shot for treason. They need to be lined up and a friggin' 9mm hollow point bullet hit them between the eyes and just bust the back of their head out. I'm sorry if that sounds harsh, it sounds cruel, but treason deserves death. Treason deserves death. They are warring against you, against your family, against your bloodline. Whether you realize it or not, they're warring against mankind. They are warring against man. Now, a lot of you're gonna booger and everything else. Go right ahead. I don't want to hurt your little brain. Didn't come here to do that, but you're gonna have to start thinking. You're gonna have to start thinking. These people are making war against us, against the American citizen. What's going on? What's going on? They cheated their own. They're resisting the rule of law. They was doing everything but licking Robert Mueller's butt, man, as long as that lie was up front. And they said, we're going to nail Trump. We're going to get rid of Trump. We're going to do this. But when they find out that there's no collusion, they had nothing on him. Nothing. When they find out they had nothing, they went berserk. Oh, I ain't happy. I ain't good. That ain't good enough. I don't like what they found out. We're going to have to keep digging. People, they're playing games with you. They're playing games with your mind. They're playing games with your conscience. They're playing games with your family, with your bloodline. They're playing games with you. You are footing the bill for the trash that they uphold. They're playing games with you. They're hoping to keep this stuff stirred up and hold down an actual, true investigation. William Barr has already said, I've already got a team together. We're looking into this Russia collusion deal. We're looking into this dossier that hasn't been able to prove what it said. You hear me? Democrats, they're running for cover now. They are running for, and it's not just them. You have some Republicans up there. You have some Republicans up there that they're so brainwashed in this new system they're trying to bring to life. They're willing to cheat and screw and rape and even shoot everything that disagrees with them. It's not all Democrats, people. This is no longer politics. Get it out of your head. It's no longer politics. This is no longer Democrat and Republican. This is good versus evil. This is right versus wrong. This is truth versus lie. This ain't no friggin' joke anymore. This is not a game. Everything is at stake. Everything. Right now, through God giving us Donald Trump to push through justice and go see justice done, we have hope. We have a chance of our children being able to work for themselves tomorrow instead of working for everybody else. This is no game. you school kids, college kids, and all of you, listen, I'm telling you, this is no game. The games are over. The games are over. Utopia is out of the picture, okay? There is no utopia on the face of the earth. As long as man is alive and lives in this lying, scheming, plotting, cheating, deceptive flesh, there will be no utopia on the face of the earth. Get it out of your head. Get it out of your head. It ain't coming. It ain't coming. Man, listen, man is without God. Man without God is a pervert. Give him time, he'll prove it. Give him time, he'll prove it. Man is a mess. He's a friggin' lying, scheming, cheating mess. But now William Barr has already said, I've got a team. We're going to be looking into this dossier. We're going to find out where this went wrong. The Democrats cheated their own. They're resisting justice right now. They're up there doing their best to stop William Barr. They're doing their best to disprove the man that they wanted. Democrats wanted this man. Some Republicans wanted him. Maybe everybody up there wanted him. The moral wanted justice. The immoral wanted their way. You know, perverts don't like justice. Okay? Perverts do not like justice. Justice kicks the teeth out of the pervert. That's common sense. That's not Nasonomics or rocket science or whatever. That's common sense. Perverts do not like justice. The Democrats thought they had. They thought they had their way. You know, I'd said before there was 11, 12, 13 lawyers worrying for the Democrats, but there wasn't. There was 19. Robert Mueller had 19 people trying to find evidence on Donald J. Trump to prove he colluded with Russia. They couldn't find it. Now you can say, well, you hide this, you hide this. Listen, people, that special investigator Robert Mueller they went and hired, he was breaking the law. He was breaking law. He didn't have all the authority by law that he used. He was breaking the law himself, trying to find something on Trump. Now, you got all these senators, the Democratic Party, you got the liberal media, you got all these thousands upon thousands of people in power in the public eye, and then them garnering the support of millions of Americans trying to nail Donald Trump. Don't tell me they couldn't find it. If it was there, don't tell me they couldn't have got to it. They'd have uncovered it in a month. 6 months easily. If it had been real, if it had been true, they would have found it. Donald Trump would have been out of office. He would have been gone, no more. But they didn't find it. $25+ million 2 years later, 22 months later. Nothing. No collusion with Russia. But what have we found out? Well, we found out that an ex-British spy, that he talked to Russian officials. A lie was put together. They went to the FISA court. They lied to the FISA judges. Now this went through 3-4 times. They couldn't get it like the first time, first 2 or 3 times. They lied until they got it through. They can't prove what they've done, what they were looking for. Huh? Yeah. And why? Why do you support them? Why do you support them, people? Why? They could not prove what they said. Corruption. The swamp. The swamp is bigger than DC. DC is just the gem of the swamp that leaves the swamp to stay in place. DC, Washington DC, the political is the core of the swamp. It's not the whole swamp. It's the core of the swamp. The swamp is every dirty little lying, filthy deal that's done around the nation that hides behind the shadow of the swamp. The swamp is sin. The swamp is the atrocities committed against man that God calls sin. It hurts man. It breaks the heart of God. Man is God's prized possession. The swamp is every little dirty thing that goes on and hides under the shadow of Washington, D.C. I mean, come on. Look at you can't record a conversation on a telephone unless you tell the party on the other end, I'm recording this. If you record it and you don't tell them and you had to take it to court, the judge would strike it down and say, no, you can't use that. Yes, they lied. You proved they're lying, but we can't accept that. You should have told them. Now, okay? I mean, come on. People, use your head. Use your head. That's part of the swamp. Yes, you prove they lied to you through the phone, but you cannot pin them down with that lie because you didn't tell them you were recording their lie. Tell me that's not a swamp. Tell me that's not a swamp. I've told this before, I'm telling you again. I had a whistleblower lawsuit. If it went to court and evidence is pulled together, went to court, I'd have busted this company's butt. I'd have busted their butt big time. But after 2 years, my lawyer not doing his job, the court gave him 3 years to run before it actually went to court. After 2 years, they get a bankruptcy lawyer. He advised them to file bankruptcy. They was in trouble in other places, okay? They were in trouble in other places. They filed bankruptcy. The innocent man, me, loses his job, gets nothing, everything, all because of a lie. That's part of the swamp. That come right through the system. They hid right under the shadow of the problem, the root, the core. State and federal laws broke. They hid under the shadow. The swamp hid. The lies hid. That's part of the swamp. Maybe that's part of the reason I get so pissed off at some of this stuff. Because I know it's real. But see, some of you, you don't care that it's a swamp. You don't care that it's dirty, that it's shady, because you're part of it. You choose to live with your fingers wallowing, fingering around in the poop. You choose it. And you support it. You back it. You uphold it. Election time comes around, you even throw money to that pervert that's up there organizing the shadow. You don't care. If we can destroy the morals of one generation of Americans, we can take the nation. You don't care. But see, I've got family. I've got people that I love. When I'm dead and gone, my old butt's decaying somewhere, or gets cremated or something. I've got family that's going to be here. I got the people that I love going to be here. I don't want them to have to live in the poop that you wallow in. That's what's wrong with America. You are willing to wallow in the poop because your conscience is contaminated. You are willing to wallow in the poop. It doesn't bother you. The stench doesn't bother you. The shame doesn't bother you. You are willing to wallow in the poop. The swamp is real. The Democratic Party is resisting justice that can correct or fix or drain the swamp. They're resisting an action that can fix it. They are cheating the American voter through illegal immigrants. They're cheating the American family through illegal immigrants. They're cheating you. Hopefully, by the time that elections run around 2020, that you'll be behind your president and you'll say, this garbage has got to stop. Mr. President, set your foot down. Set your foot down. Fix it. Get rid of those. Get rid of those that have made war against my family. Get rid of those that have made war against my bloodline. Get rid of those that have made war against my income, my heritage, our history. Mr. President, we're behind you. Something's got to happen, people. Something's got to give. If it don't give, look around the world, people. Iran, right now I'm not exactly positive if Iran has nuclear arms. Some say they do, some say they don't. Some say they're just working on them. But now, this administration, now Iran, everybody knows Iran has financed terrorism around the world for a lot of years. The hardcore Islamic belief has financed terrorism around the world. Everybody knows it. Now that hardcore financing terrorism could have nuclear weapons. Yeah. Maybe not long range to hit us. But they have a neighbor over there that is our close ally, has been our ally for a long time, Israel. The closest thing we have to another a democracy, a capitalist system living, functioning, trying to be as fair to people over there as we are over here. They may have nuclear arms that can hit Israel. I only got one thing to say, you Iran. If you happen to see this, if you ever do, you better be on top of your game, baby. Because if you don't, Israel's going to hit you. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Only God knows what the future will bring. To what's going to happen to these countries that have set up socialist dictatorial systems that have their foot on their own people, on the throat of their own people, that America has for years tried to talk to deal with, to get them to lighten up on their own people and give their system a chance to move into capitalism and actually function. They'll holler, well, we got to vote, we got this. People, democracy is good. It's a good thing. It's about as good as it's going to get on the face of the earth. But without the knowledge of right and wrong, without the actual ability to run your system and protect the innocent, the honest, upright, and the helpless, and prosecute the guilty, the vermin, without that knowledge, it don't make any difference what kind of system you got. It's going to cheat those that should be protected. So, hopefully, these countries will come around. The Bible says they won't. Well, it says for 1,000 years there'll be peace under the Lamb of God being in leadership in the world for 1,000 years. But you know, there's a time it says all nations will be called against Israel. And then God's going to punish all nations for coming against Israel. So that lets us know that there is a corrupt system coming to life that one day will rule in the world. It's coming to life. When, exactly how, I don't know. I don't know, people. I'm not the one organizing it. I don't know where all the pieces lie. I don't know. But the point is, in order for this system to come to life, this corrupt system, truth and honor, freedom and liberty supported by actual justice will have to die. It will have to die in order for the corruption to rule the world. America and Israel's two of the main pieces. Now, there are other countries that are trying to work basically the best of their knowledge to deal with it. But the thing about it is, you know, where's the knowledge of right and wrong in their laws? Is it according to religion or opinion? Or is it according to the foundations, to the very essence of creation? Christian foundations are built upon creational principles that God established through His Word, through His heart and His will for man. That's not opinion. Those are principles that if we could pull the cover back, listen, if we could pull the cover back and let us look into creation, the very essence of creation, we could see and understand why God done what He done, why through His Word and through the laws that He passed down to Moses, why it was done. The first commandment is to love the Lord. If you love Him, you'll love your neighbor. It says if you'll love your neighbor, you won't lie, cheat, and steal from him. You won't kill him. Okay? If we could pull the cover back and see the essence of what was in God's Word when He created everything, that is what we would see. Our laws as a Christian nation were formed upon those principles, that truth and honor would bring prosperity and progress, and lie and dishonor would bring prosecution and downcasting of those that would commit atrocities against others. That's what Christian America stands for. If we can destroy the morals of one generation of Americans, we can take the nation. If we can chase actual truth and honor out of America, we can piss on them at will. Okay? That's what you're looking at. All right. I look at Washington, D.C., and the things going on, and they're just... They are trying to force William Barr to give them information that will secure their stance against our president. William Barr says there's no information there. He took Robert Mueller's conclusion, his summary. He took Robert Mueller's conclusion of what took place, and he finds nothing. He tells them that they won't receive it. Oh, we don't like it. That's not what we wanted. We lied, we cheated, we killed, we done everything in the world to get Hillary in office, and now we didn't get it. They're trying to force his hand. The law says they can't force William Barr's hand. William Barr right now holds the reins to justice in this nation. He holds it. They can't force his hand. They're trying. What happens if the cheats that cheated Bernie, that tried to rig the system of voting in 2016, if they are caught up in this, Democratic Party caught up in cheating, and the law sits on them, and they're prosecuted. Obama, Lynch, Comey, McCabe, Strzok, Page, CNN, NBC, ABC, CBS, MSNBC, everybody that's had a hand in this could go down. They know for a fact things were done wrong. Barr may be getting ready to jerk a cover off of everything they've done. I hope he does. I hope he does. And if there was corruption, committed crimes against democracy, against truth and honor and freedom and liberty in this nation, I hope he splits her skull with an axe. Boy, I'm glad to see spring come through. I really am. I really am. Here I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be 64 in August. It seems like every winter, man, it's getting tougher and tougher for me to look out the window and say, oh. I guess it's because I spend more time inside, and back when I was younger, it didn't bother me, and I'd get out and do whatever I wanted to do. It didn't bother me. But now it's, maybe it's just I'm more scared of it, and it just cuts to the bone. "2020's coming. Socialism is right now slapping the face of truth and honor and justice in this nation. Liberalism is feeding the immorality of socialism. It's feeding it. It's feeding it. People that wear a red hat with MAGA on it, so these friggin' liberals and so they'll walk up to them and slap them, man. curse them and everything else. Make America great again. And it's wrong. It's wrong for America to be great or honorable or just again. That's wrong. That is wrong. Come on. What is wrong with you? The problem's not America. The problem is corruption that has been voted into office and been in there for the last 50, 75 years, that don't want to stay honorable, that don't want to be truthful, that don't want to be just and discreet. Come on. It's not America, people. America was placed here for a reason. During this time, God's seen all this mess coming to life during this time. As power in different ways, as it is garnered, and the nuclear weapons and other stuff, and even conventional weapons, something had to be here to put limits on what man could do to his freaking little idiot self. That's been America. It's not the UN. It's not the European nation over there, EU. It's America, people. It's America. Something has put a cap on this garbage. It's godly, moral America. If we can destroy the morals of one generation of the nation of Americans, we can take the nation. That's what's wrong. The problem is not America. The problem is the lack of moral justice. The problem is the lack of moral justice. Donald John Trump, the president, the duly elected president of this nation, is trying to get us back and get our moral justice established again. The perversions are resisting. The lies are resisting. The cheating, the raping, the murdering is resisting. Only an idiotic pervert would resist what needs to be put back in place. Only an idiotic pervert would destroy the future of their children and their grandchildren and their great-grandchildren. I'm going to give you another scripture here. Old Testament. God told the Jews, He said, I am the God that visits the iniquity of the fathers upon the children into the third and fourth generation. I am the God that has judged sin that is committed and taught to the bloodline. That sin will be judged. That's what He's saying. That sin is already judged. And when that hammer falls, when the balance of justice sets, whoever's got their fingers in the cookie jar gets them broke. I am the God that has judged the sin that the Father teaches His bloodline. The things that are going on now is because we broke our word with God years ago, that we would run our system according to right and wrong, according to what He desired. And now we're facing it. We sowed to the poop, and now we're reaping the sewer. If we can destroy the morals of one generation of Americans, we can take the nation. We sowed to the poop, and now we're reaping the sewer. If we can destroy the morals. Have a good one.